and then we'll build an about page. And I'll also say, if you can, I would send you links to former YouTube videos that I have done. So if you can check that, you get more. If you're not clear on anything, you can check the YouTube videos, or check W3 school, this website, to jog your memory. But first of all, let me show you what we're going to do today after learning. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So this is how your about page. I'm going to try to do it under 2 hours because we don't have much time. So please, you're going to have to listen carefully, ask questions if you don't understand as we go. All right, so your about page is going to look something like this. Okay, we're still going to do a footer. We're going to do a footer, we're going to do navigation. Okay. Let me fix this if I can. Are you guys there? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, because I've not heard anything from anybody. So I'm just setting up what we're going to do today so that we don't have any problems. Okay. And we're also going to learn about Font Awesome. So hopefully we would have time to do everything. Okay, I just did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Okay. So please hold on. I'm just setting this up for. Okay. So, okay, so let me check it. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm a call wrong. Sorry. Okay, so let's just go on. So I think the first thing I will start with is navigation bar. Let me start with that, CSS navigation bar, because that's the first thing we're going to do. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm pretty sure if you have gone to website, you will see things like this. This is called, let's start from the beginning. So this is called in navigation bar. I'm pretty sure that if you've gone to website, you'll have seen things like this, or this, or this. Yeah. So they're called in navigation web bars. And they are important for any website because most times a website usually have pages and pages of web pages, lots of pages, just like you have a book. that has lots of pages. That's why a website it has lots and lots of pages. It has lots and lots of pages. And so, when you're flipping through a book, you can easily turn from one page to another, or if you're looking for a particular page, you can say, oh, turn to page 120 or 140 or 150, or turn to page 200. But for websites, it's digital, and so what we use are links. These are all links that are leading to different pages. We don't have numbers. We don't say turn to number one. We just say, okay, no, go to the contact page, or go to the home page, or go to the news page. And what these pages, what they use, we call them link address. For instance, this entire page we're looking at right now, it's a page in W3 School. You can see they have thousands of pages. They have lots of, all these are all pages. All these are pages. This is the navigation bar on top, and this is a lot of pages. So this is the CSS page, and under the CSS page, you have a whole lot by the side, as you can see here. So we use links. A navigation bar is just a list of links. It's just like, this is just listing links in a way that they will appear like this. All right, this is a navigation bar. So these are all, it is listed, and like I said, we use addresses. So this is the CSS page, and because we're on the CSS page, this is the link, this is the web address. We don't use page, we use web address. This is the web address to CSS page. So let me show you what I mean. Okay. So when the first step in creating, Amaka, close that door, please. The first step in creating a navigation bar, like I said, is a list of links. Now, you have your UL, which is, I'm sure you guys did this before you left, an unordered list. If it was a numbered list, it would be OL, but it's an unordered list. So we're having bullet points here. And so this is a list of, it's the CSS, the styling that makes it become this. When we add the styles to it, you will see it. But at the base, at the basic level, it's just a list of links like this. All right. So this is a link. This is the A element for links. A element for link. Your href, which is where the link page you want to go to. I'm pretty sure you guys understand this LI and this href that is here, right?
Yes, Yeah.
We did this
Exactly.
before we left.
So this takes you to your home page. So you have a link for your home page, and I'll show you how to do that. This is also a link for your news. This is also a link for your about, and this is also a link for your contract and all of that. So let's see how we style it to get this, right? So the first thing you're going to do is that you're going to remove, you can see this is a bullet list. So we're going to remove this. Let's do that first. So by default, a list has paddings and margins around it by default. Now, when I said padding, a padding is, you can see this get your website. This space surrounding this get your website here inside this, let me call this a button or a border. Inside this button or border, whatever you decide to call it, is called a padding. So you can see a padding at the side here. There is a padding at the side. There is a padding on top, and there is a padding below. That's called a padding. So by default, this entire link you're seeing here has padding on top, has padding by the side, and has padding under. So we're going to, even though it is not showing that we kept any padding here, by default it has. It also has a margin. What is the margin? Now the space, okay, let me use here. I've talked about padding. Now margin is the space. Oh my God. Okay, my network is back. Can you guys hear me? My network went off for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
So a margin is the space outside the element. So this, my network again, God. But you can hear me though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the most important thing. So this particular side, this space outside the button is called the margin. So there's a space outside here. This entire space is called the margin. This space between this and this is the margin. the space up is the margin top. So this is the margin top, margin right, margin right, margin bottom, and margin left. Okay, same goes for padding. Padding top, padding right, padding left, and so by default, a list has that. So the first thing you want to do is to remove the padding because it would be hard to style. You know, this is vertically aligned right now. So we're going to have to make it horizontal. That depends on what you want because we have, you can see here, we have horizontal list style and we have vertical list style. So we are trying to achieve a horizontal. Even if you're trying to achieve a vertical line, you still have to remove that external the default padding. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to style it. It's just going to be messing up whatever style you want to do. So let's remove that first of all. So the best way to do that is okay, yeah. So let me just go here. Okay. So as not to confuse you, let me do it one by one. So the best way to remove that, you go to your style. Okay, so you select your UL element, you open your curly bracket, and then you remove the list style type. Now, list type style type is what is giving it this. The list style type is a bullet style. Okay, so to remove it, I'm okay. There's nothing inside. So to remove that, you have to make it none. So if I run this code, you see now you don't have, and automatically it's shifted because like I said, there's a padding around, the padding and the margin is gone. Now let me remove this so that you see it again how it was. All right. So you see, there's a margin here, there's a margin on top and there are patterns in there. So by the time we remove that, list style type is none. We don't want any list. Margin is 0, padding is 0. So when I run that, they are all gone. If I want to bring my bullet points again, I do it like this. So now it's tiny, but let's not do that. So let's make it none. And that removes, even if you were using an ordered list, because this is UL on ordered, even if you're using ordered list and it was writing 1, 2, 3, you can still remove it using this. All right. So that's one step done. So what is the next step? Okay. So the next step is to decide whether you want a vertical bar or an horizontal bar. So let's start with vertical bar. Vertical navigation bar that's like this on top of each other. Let's assume that is what you want. You're going to first you're going to display your list element as a block. Let me just quickly put this. And I'll explain what this does. Okay. So now we selected both the LI and the A elements because we are trying to target what is inside them. This home is inside the LI element and is also inside the A element. So that's why we're targeting both of them. So you select them to say, okay, I want to target this particular thing inside this both element. So we're going to display it block because it is easier to style if it is displayed in the block way. There is block display and there is inline display. Now, when something is, I'm using it, Amaka. When something is displayed inline, let me see if it's going to show here. When something is displayed inline, okay, so because this is a list item, it's not going to show here. But when something is displayed inline, what happens is that it becomes like on the same line. They just become like a part of each other. It's like the same line. You can't separate them. But once you say it should display block, then each individual components can be designed, can be designed individually, because eventually we're going to make them individually. This is going to stand on its own. This is going to stand on its own. This is going to stand. So we're going to create spaces in there. But if we don't display its block and it's inline, it will be hard to design it, to style it like that. So it's important that you make it, it's kind of like a rule. You make the display block and then you give it a width of 60 px. Let me see what exactly this width affects. Okay, so we'll come back to what this width affects, but just leave it at 60. We've not done other styling to make it show. So display block displays the link as block elements, making the whole link area clickable, not just the text. All right. And like I said, it allows to specify the width and adding padding and margin. It's just basically make it easy for you to design. If you leave it inline, you won't be able to click it. Like they said, make block elements makes the whole link area clickable. All right. So the width of the width, they are basically talking about from this side to this side. Okay. I don't know, when I put a border around it, you will see the width eventually. But basically, they are saying that this entire about should take from this side to this side. Okay, 60 px. It might not be, the entire thing is 100 px. From this side to this side is 100. So if they're saying 60, that means it's going to stop somewhere around here. But we'll see that later. Let's move on. Okay. Okay, it's the same thing. The only difference is that they put you can also decide you want your width to be in your UL element, or you can put it in your LI. It doesn't matter. It's still going to affect, it's still going to touch everything in the list. Okay. So hold on. And this is where it gets really interesting. Let me come here. So remember in our previous example, we had, let me see. So in our previous example, I think where we stopped was, oh, I've removed it. But there was no margin and there was no padding. Okay, let me remove this. Aha. So this is exactly how it was there. It is a background color here. All right. So this is how it was when we removed the list style, removed the margin, removed the padding, we displayed it block and all of that. So this color here is just the color of this link here. Okay, if I change the color right up to blue, it becomes blue. So I'm just going to leave it at black. All right, I'm going to leave it at black. So now we are going to add our width. Like I said, you can add your width here, you can add it here. It doesn't matter, it won't change anything. So let me leave the width at, let me leave it in our UL here. Oh, no, before I add the width, that will confuse you. Before I add the width, I'm going to add a background color. I'm going to add the background color to the UL. So let me add a background color of gray. Let me put it gray. All right. Oh, that's not visible. Or did I do something wrong?
Where it says padding, where it says colon and then 0.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's why. So now this is a background color of gray. And this is where the width comes in. Right now, the width is at 100. This is 100 px. So let's use percentage to do the width so that you won't be confused. Because if I come here and I say, okay, the width should be 60%. Let me see. You want to take it? Oh, 60, not 6. Oh, 60. Now, if I say I want the width to be 60%, all right, you see, it's reduced. If I say I want it to be 60px, I think it's the same. Oh, it's not the same. But percentage is easier to calculate because I know that from here to here is 100%. That's why I like to use percentage a lot. If you want it to cover the entire thing, it's 100%. That's it. If I want it to get here, I'm like, okay, this is 80%. If I want it halfway, it's 50%. So whatever you're comfortable with, if you're going to use PX, you might have to, you know, do a lot of trial and error. For instance, let me say I want it to be 300px. Does that give me what I want? You see, it's still short. Okay, let me make it 800px. You see, now it covers. But for me, percentage works well for me because I can literally calculate the math with my eyes. So depending on what works for you, feel free to use width or percentage of px when you want to put a background, when you want to stretch how far you want your navigation bar to be. So I'm going to leave it at full heat like this at 800 pixels. All right, so the next thing you want to do is create a space. Okay. So while we have removed the artificial, the default padding that was around the list when we first started, now it's now time to create a padding or a space in between them here. All right. So remember, they are all in a list. Let me see. Okay. So we're going to put our padding here. So I'm basically saying, okay, so I want 8px on top and 16px by the side. All right. So I don't know if I've taught you guys about padding before, where I said if you see two paddings like this, if you see two values in a padding, then that means the first one is the top and the bottom, which is up here and here. I mean, let's remove this. Let's see. Let me see if it makes much of a difference. Okay. So a padding like this means that this first one is taking the top and the bottom, while this second one is taking the sides, the left and the right side. So if I, right now, here is 16px, here is 8px. Now, if you see a padding written as just one value like this, just one value, all right? So it means that, okay, everything is taking 16, both up, top, and the sides. So you see, up here is 16. The sides are 16. Now, because there is nothing on this side, so you're not going to even see the padding here, but just know that there is a padding of 16 at the sides. Sometimes people write paddings like this. When you're writing padding, you start with top, bottom, no, top, right, bottom, and left. So it goes clockwise. That's clockwise, if I'm not mistaken. So if I wanted to write this, the entire padding, this is a shorthand, but if I wanted to write it in full, I would say 8x for the top, 16px for the side, 8x for the bottom, 8px for the bottom, sorry, because it's top, right, bottom, so 8px for the bottom, and then 16px for the left. All right. So, and this is how okay. Oh, 8px, sorry. So this is how it will look. This is essentially the same as writing it like this. This is essentially the same as writing it like this. See, it doesn't change. It's the same. So it's just a shorthand form of writing it. Now, assuming you have a situation where you only want to put, maybe I only want to put a padding at the left side. I don't want to put the padding everywhere. I just want to put the padding at the left side. What I will say is, okay, padding left. Yes. Okay. What I would say is padding left. Okay. And I'm just going to give it one value because I'm only targeting one place. I'm not targeting the right. I'm not targeting the top or the bottom. So if I give it 8px, it's only going to give me, let me make this 16 to make this more obvious. But let me make this 25px. So you see, I only have a padding at the left here. Okay. The same thing if I say I wanted padding top. Only one value. So now I have a padding at the top here, right here. All right. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So now I only have paddings at the top here, top here. So this is exactly why we selected the LI and the A. If you had only selected the LI, these individual links inside would not have padding, okay? Because you're not selecting the links inside, you're only selecting the LI. So if you only put LI, you're only going to have a padding at the top of the entire list. You know, it is wrapped in a list. I don't know if that makes sense, but when you are doing your navigation bar, it is important that you select the list and the link. All right, so let's go back to the normal padding. We have 8 and 6 there. 8 for the top and the bottom, 16 for the sides. All right. So like this is how we're going to show that's the padding. So the next thing you want to do is to remove this text on the line. Like I said, I mean, if you check other navigation bars, yes. Can't touch your mom. So the next thing you want to, because if you check, you can see there is no link here, even though these are links. You don't see that text on the line. You don't see this on the line there. So that can be easily fixed by this is a text decoration for link. So to remove that, you come here and you say text decoration, because right now the text decoration is on the line. By default, when you have a link, the text decoration is on the line. So we're going to remove this and say none. All right. So now it's gone, right? None. Do we understand that?
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So after that, I don't know if you guys were around when I taught pseudo elements, but there is something called pseudo elements. It's used to select. You see how we wrote this here? Li is the same as here, but you see there is this. Let me make this bigger if I can. But there is this hover thing here. So this is called a pseudo selector. So basically, you are telling the browser that, hey, I want so and so to happen when my mouse hovers around this. Let me make this smaller. So, yes. Amaka, please, I'm walking. Oh, so sorry, guys. So I'm saying that when my mouse hovers around like this, I want so and so to happen. So let me explain it. Let me give it let me make something happen. So I'm saying when my mouse hovers around this, I want to change this background color to, I don't know what color is this. Okay, to gray. This is another color of gray. I mean, I can say I want to turn it black. I'll come back to gray because I like that gray color. But just for you to understand, let's assume I say I want it black. I want this to be black. Now, if this is black and the write-up is black, if I don't put this color, okay? So let's say I want when I hover around it, the color should be black. If I come here and I do this, you see that you won't see the write-up inside. So you have to say, okay, and then I want the color of the text to change to white. Sorry, please hold on. Hold on.
We can't hear you.
I know, I'm sorry. So as I was saying, if you do it like this, it's not going to work. All right. So you have to tell the browser that, okay, so when I hover and it turns black, let the text be white, which is why this is here. So if I run this, sorry, hold on, I have to deal with this child with me so she doesn't disturb us. All right, so sorry. So I have taken her outside. So now when I run this and I come here, so you see it changes to white. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see the navigation bar is slowly coming up. So let's continue. Sorry, I just ran down some stairs right now, so I'm trying to catch my breath. All right, so if you go to how do I explain active or current link right now? Okay, so sometimes when you get to a website, they have like the homepage will just be this color, while every other thing will be like this. All right. So to achieve this, are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
To achieve this is the home. Let's go to our code. So we're going to give our code here a class of active. Where do I put this right now? Okay, I think I can put this here. Class is equal to active. Were you guys in class when I taught about putting classes and divs?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, how do I explain that now? So we add class to things when we want to give it a particular, maybe we want, for instance, now we want to single out this home item and we want to give it a different styling. Okay, I hope I'm getting this right. Let me check to be sure. Because sometimes I forget. Yeah. Okay, the class is actually in front of the, sorry. So we add classes to things, maybe you want to style it differently, right? For instance, now I've added a class to this link here. So just, it's a whole different conversation, but I can't go into all of that because we still have to build a homepage today. So bear with me. But as you're following, the more I use classes, the more you understand. So now I've given it a class of active, right? And now I want this homepage to always remain green. I want the this color here that is showing black. I want it to remain green. All right. So I've given it a class. What's the next thing to do? When we select elements, we just pick them up and select. Okay, let me go here. When we pick elements to style, for instance, we styled L1 and A here. We styled UL here. When we want to pick element, we just select them. When it comes to classes, if you're going to pick a class, you have to put a full stop and then put the name of that class there to style it. Just stay with me. This will make sense in 5 seconds now. All right. So you put a full stop mark there to select it. So now, because this active is only on this first one, you have to put this LI and LA. Okay, let me try to do it just like that if it will work. I really doubt it. I've never done that before. So let me remove this. Okay. So now I've selected the class and this is where active is. Let me scroll down. All right, so I'm not telling them that I want the background color to be green. This code color is a color for green. All right, let me see if it will work. Okay, it worked. Well, it worked. So let me just leave it like that, not to confuse you guys. So this is a, let me put green. So yeah, so we selected it and we say, okay, so we want the background color to be green and we want the right up to be white. So now it's not going to change every other thing because these don't have any classes. If I come to the second one and I put the class is equal to, let's say I say, let me name it. And now when it comes to classes, you can give it any name you want. Just make sure it's a name that you can remember or something that makes sense. All right. So let's assume I want to give this class, okay, let me say news. I want to give it news. You can name it whatever. And I come here and I say, oh, I want news to be, let me copy this same thing here. But now I say I want news to be blue. Oh God. All right. So now I say I want news to be blue, color blue. Blue. And I want the text color to be red. All right. So if I run this, you see, it gives me the color blue here. It's still going to be like this because the hover still says that when I hover around it, the entire styling for the hover, when I hover around it, it should be black and color white. I can change that if I want to. So, but basically this is how you add, a different styling to things that you want. But right now we're going to leave it at, white and green. All right, I like that green. Okay, let me leave this like this. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Now, if I want this to be a different color when I hover around it, or maybe I want this one to be a different color, I'm just going to do it like this. So in this case, you have to select the entire element. In this case, you have to select the LI. So it's almost like you're doing it like this. The only difference is that you want it to be different when it's hovering around here. Let me see if I can. Let me run this so you understand. So now if I hover around here, okay, this is gray. All right. So that we get what we're saying. Let me see red here. So hold on, let me explain. So we had set the hover that when you hover around it, it should be black. We had set it to black, right? So, but now we want it to. Okay, I've not run that. Sure, I'm trying to figure out where this gray came from. Oh, okay, I know where it comes from. That makes sense. Now that's what I was looking for. So we had set it to be black when you hover around it before, like this, right? This is still the default setting. But now, we now only want it to hover when you put it on the home. When we put it on the home, we only want this style, this background color black. We only want it to appear on the active link elements. We only want it to appear on the home. Did you understand? And we don't want others to be like that. We want others to have a different color, like black. I mean, like gray or like red. So what you do is that select it again. You can see we selected it here. Give me a moment.
We can't hear you.
All right. So to do that, after we have selected this, you will not put this pseudo selector. Remember, I said these are pseudo selectors. They just tell you, you select something and then you tell the browser, oh, I don't want this. So now this was set to hover, and now you're not going to put active and say, okay, so you're telling the browser here that you want it when it's not on the active page. That's why not active is like this. So when we hover and it's not on the active page, please make it red and make the right up white. Here, when we hover, everywhere is black. But now we want to isolate the active page so that when it hovers, if it hovers on others that are not active, it turns red. So that's why you have things like this. That's why here is red. But when you come here, it will be black because you have told the browser that I do not want this hover to apply when it's not active. I only want this to apply when it's active. When it's not active, when it's not on the active link, I want this to apply. Do we understand?
Yes.
You understand? Thank you, because I was trying so hard. So I think this was, because that red is not looking nice at all. I think this was the color that was there. Yes. So now here is black, here is gray. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. So now you can add borders. All right. And then you can also design, because if you look at it right now, there are no borders around it, and all the write-up are on the side, on the left-hand side. So now you can add borders and decide that, okay, you want to move the write-up to the middle. Let's see how that is done. Okay. So you're going to add a border to your navbar. You add it under the UL here, because that's the entire thing. You're adding border to the entire list. So a border is just a line around it. And what we're telling the browser that, oh, I want this border to be 1px, that's the size. You want it to be 1ps thick. You want it to be solid, and you want it to be, I think this is gray, because if I scroll down, this is the same color. Okay, you want it to be this color you're seeing when I hover around it. That's the color you want it. So if I run this, now there's a border here, even though it's tiny. If I say, if I make it, let's say I make it 5px, it will be thicker. You will see it better. So you can see it's 5 because it's thicker now. You can see it. Let me make it 10 because it's still. So now it's thicker. You can see it's 10. So we added this to the UL because the UL, let me scroll down to the code. If you look at this code, the UL is wrapping everything around here, is wrapping it. This is the closing div. So everything around here is in a border. Now, if you want to put borders individually, like under this links individually, I will show you. But first of all, let's make this one. So you can also have different types of border. You can say you want the lines to be dashed. You can say you want a dashed border. You can say you want a dotted border. All right. And you have a dot, but we're just going to leave it as solid. That's a normal border, and we're going to leave it at 1px. So this tiny border here is what we need. Do we understand that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So now to put a border, in between lines like this. So just like padding and margin, just like when I was teaching padding, I said they had padding top, padding left, padding right. Borders have the same thing. So you can have border right. Maybe you only want the border to be on the right. You just change it to border right, and the line will only come here. All right. If you say you want padding top, it will come here. So now in this case, we already have a border line here below here, right? We have one on top. So we're only concerned with having a border under here, under the news, under the contact. So it has to be inside the individual links, right? If you put it in LI, it's not going to, I don't even know how to explain to you, but it's better you put it where A is, because at the end of the day, I think the link A, it's better to select A, because this LI is wrapping the A elements, but it's better to select A if you want to put individual borders. Don't just select LI, or better still select the two, just like we did here. All right, just like we did here. So we're going to put it here so it will affect each individual content that is inside the LI. All right, so I'm going to put border bottom there. I'm going to put border bottom. Now let me make it thick again so you guys can see it. So it is the same solid as the one here and the same color, which makes a lot of sense. You don't want a different color there, but let's just put red. I like to use bright colors like that so that you see it on your end. So now I kept a border of 10px, border bottom. So it's only going to appear underneath here.
I'm sorry, can you go off of it, please?
Can I what?
Can you go up, scroll up a bit, please?
Yeah.
Okay. A bit down, please.
Make that one.
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay. But this is not what I want you to follow. When you start building your profile, that's why you're going to follow me as I'm doing it. I'm just showing you guys all this. All right.
Okay.
So because when we start building your profile page, you're going to have to start following me one by one, because that's what's going to be your project. You're not going to have a vertical navigation bar for your project. Your project is going to be horizontal. But I'm just showing you this because it doesn't make sense to teach you about horizontal and then you don't know what vertical is. All right.
Okay.
So now you can see there is a border here. I just made it red so you see, but I'm going to give it the gray color that we gave it earlier. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so now there's a border there. All right. That's understandable enough. So because, like I said, we already had the bottom, a border at the top and on at the bottom. If you notice, this top border here, this one here is thicker than the one up. Because when we put a border bottom here, we added another border here. So that's why it's thicker. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. Okay. So now I've removed the borders. But right here there is a border, and when I use the styling border bottom, it's going to give every border bottom a border, everything here, not just the ones inside, because I didn't specify that I only wanted the ones in the middle. So when I run it, this is going to be thicker than the rest of them. It's quite, let me make this. So if you see the one on top here compared to the one down here, is thicker. So the best way to rectify it, some people might decide to leave it because it really doesn't matter. But in case you want to rectify that, you can just go and say, okay, the last child of the list, let me come here. Let me put this here. You can say the last child of the list, this is LI, and last child just means the last element. You don't want a bottom there. So if I run it, okay. I didn't close. So if I run it, it becomes different, but that is just if you want to. That's a personal thing if you want to. All right. So yes. Okay. So that's that about a vertical navigation line. Let's stop there. So this one is just shorter, but this is exactly how you create one. If you want it shorter, you can just say, okay, I want this to be 300 pixels. Okay. Because it becomes shorter and you can. So that's that about a vertical navigation bar. Now let's go to the horizontal, which is what you should copy as I'm doing it, because that's what is going to be on your project. And we're going to be building your project as we're doing this class. All right, so now for the horizontal bar. So there are two ways to create this. You can either use inline or you can use floating. Now, when we did horizontal navigation, we actually turned the display was block, because we wanted each item to start on a different line. Now, but for horizontal, we can use inline so that it will appear like this. It's on the same line. So you can decide to use display inline, or you can use something we call floating items, floating, and I'll explain that. All right, so let's come here. Now we have listed our link. So you can, at this point, I want you to create a different folder, or you can create a different file if you still want to leave it in one folder. You can open a different file and you can call it my about page, or just say about page.html, because I'm going to create your about page as soon as I finish creating this horizontal what's it called, horizontal navigation bar. I'm going to create your profile page, so you can follow me and be doing it as I'm doing it, so that by the time we're done with class, your about page will be ready. Because if I say let me just do it and give you as assignment, you might have troubles, you might have problems when I'm not there to explain, and so we don't even have time. So that's what I would advise. So you can just start by doing it. So now you've listed your links, you have your home page, your news page, your contact page, and everything. So in this case, we're going to display this inline, right? So you're going to remove your list style, normal. Remove your list style, you remove the margin and the padding that is there. If I don't remove this margin and this padding, what happens? Let me see. I think this is just a row. Okay, so there is obviously there is margin and there is padding here. So just remove it. Just remove the default one. All right. And so it's gone. So you display inline. If I display this block, it will become like a vertical. See, it becomes like, but what we're doing is horizontal. So we're going to do inline. All right. And then it becomes like this. Okay. So let us see how the float option works in case you want to float it. This is how it works. So the thing with using floating is that if a doc type, something like and that's why in all our HTML code, we always have this there to signify that this is a HTML. But if a doc type is not specified, floating items can produce unexpected results. All right. So yeah. So to use the float, after you removed your list style, you removed your margin and padding, you have to add another what's it called? Another style called overflow, and you have to make it hidden. All right, let's see what happens if you don't do it. So I think using inline is just easier. So if you don't use overflow, the next thing you're going to write, like I said, we're going to build your profile page. So imagine if I've finished my horizontal navigation bar and I'm trying to put your about page, and instead of it to start on that, it's starting at the sides. So to avoid that from happening, because this is just, you floated it. You see the we don't have a display inline, we have a float instead. We're floating this left, right? Just hold on, I'll explain. So overflow hidden takes the content below it under like this. So this float right here, you can decide to float it right. All right, let's float right. If you float right, it goes to the right hand side. You see? Now, I don't think there is something called float center. I highly doubt it. My memory serves me. All right, so you see, they don't have float center. If you say float center, it's just going to display block. So what you have is either right or left. All right. So you float it left. Okay. But as usual, this is a rule. in your LIA display, you must have a display block here. Whether or not you are using, okay, yeah, this is for when you're using float. So you see, float is actually a lot. So it's better to stick with this version. Just use inline, just display inline, and everybody's fine, rather than using float. Do we understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is much simpler and straight to the point. All right, so now that we've done this, let's remove this underline, and let's also change the text color and create space so that it can spread, you know, and stand on its own individually. So it can become like this. So how do we do that? Very easy. All right. So we're going to, sorry. Okay, so we're going to remove, we're going to remove the text decoration first. Let's remove that. Let's remove that underline. Oh, sorry. Let me just select this whole thing. Or let's just come here. All right, fine. So in this case, we have done the, what, they're using floats here. Why are we using floats? I don't want floats. All right, so I'm just going to do this one by one. Sorry, hold on. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this entire thing here instead of writing it from the beginning and spending time. I hate typing. So basically, we're going to remove this underline here with text decoration none. We're going to create a padding in between, and we're going to create spaces in between it. And that's why you have 14 and 16, a padding on top and a padding at the side. We're also going to move it to the center. I think we should do this one by one. I think we should do this one by one so that you see it as a goal. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, so we're first going to do this. Like I said, this is a rule to display block. If you don't put this display block, you won't be able to add all this padding and all of that. You won't be able to text align, because if you read this explanation here, display blocks allow us to specify padding, heights, margins, whatever you want to do. You have to make them stand on their own individually. That's the meaning. So this home would stand on its own, this news would stand on its own, this contact would stand on its own when you do display block. So it's not going to change. I mean, it's going to change, but yes, now they have now become their own element. Oh, so now I understand why they use float. Okay, so now I understand why they use float. So let's use float. It's easier to style when you use float. If you don't want to add any styling to it, you can leave it as inline. So let's just use float for now. All right. So now they now stand on their own. Okay. Let me see something. You should be able to use the inline now. Okay, that makes it disappear. Let me see. Okay, so let me just leave it here. So so what we basically did here was that, because I think I've already ruined this and I don't even have the strength to start repairing it. So let me just go to, because of time, I'm going to ready-made ones and trying to explain it to you because of time. So what we have here is we've removed the list style. You know what overflow does. Now they added the background color. If I change this background color to red, see, it changes to red, but I'm going to leave it at dark color because I like that color. So that's basically how you add a background color. All right. So they floated this left and they decided that
We can't hear you.
oh, I know I'm coming, I'm sorry. So right now, this is not showing. This is not, all these styles are not showing. So this is what happens when you remove the list style, you remove your margin and your padding, you put your overflow, and then you change the background color. Now we've floated it left like this. So now, to now be able to style it, I think that is where this display comes in. Okay. So let me add the display. I want you to see what each and every element does. So I'll add the display. You know, it remains like this when you've added display, but I think it just turns it individually. Let's just call display block a rule, okay, to be able to help you to style this individually. So now we're going to change the text color to white, first of all. So now we're changing, you see it's turning green here. The reason why it's turning green here is because I'm hiding the styling from the browser. So I'm saying don't apply. This is how you hide it. So now when we turn this white, this is what happened. Now it is white, all right? So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to text align center so it can move to the center of the page. So if we move this to the center, then let me first move that. Text align center. Okay, I don't know why that
My
didn't go.
laptop is going to die, so shall I quickly just charge it?
All right, please do.
Okay.
Miami, are you still there?
If I leave, then that's why.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so just hurry up. I'm going to wait for you. Okay, so now I have added the text aligned and I have also added a padding. All right, so let me run. So I didn't remove the underline. If I remove this text align, what happens? Because I did that and nothing happened. Okay, so I don't know why they kept it there. So the thing when it comes to coding, as you can see, even someone like me who is experienced on everything, there is a lot to learn. Please, Tolu, when Tolu gets back, let me know so I can continue. Okay? Okay, Miami.
I'm not in the same room as Tolu right now.
You what?
I'm not in the same room as Tolu right now. We're in different rooms.
Okay, so your accent is so thick, I didn't even get what you said.
I'm not in the same room as Tolu.
Oh, you're not in the same room. Okay, in different rooms. Okay, wonderful. How do we know when she's back?
She'll probably speak through her mic.
Okay, hopefully. I hope so. Okay, so but when it comes to coding, it's a lot of trial and error. You have to see what fits, what doesn't fit. For instance, even I don't understand why this text align is there. Okay, even I don't understand why this text align is there. But and you see, it still appears well on the browser. Now you might be on a different browser or you might be on VS Code, and then maybe when you write it, you realize that oh, this is not in the middle. You can, and then you have to. So it's a lot of trial and error. All right, it's a lot
Yes.
of trial and error like that. So now I displayed it block. Okay, thank you. So we've not left, we've not gone far. I displayed the block, I added a color there, I made the text align, and now I added paddings, and now I'm going to remove the text correction so that it can be. So do we understand this?
Yeah.
The background color, okay,
Oh, can you go down a bit, please?
okay.
Thank you.
Oh, sweet. Are you done? Because I have to move away.
I'm just doing the last part.
You what?
I'm just finishing
Okay,
off.
no, I can write let me just send it to you in the chat box so you just copy.
Okay.
It's easier that way. Let's do it again. So you just go to a new file and name that file about me.html. Sorry, copy. So instead of you having to do everything, I'm just going to be copying the codes and pasting it for you.
Okay.
All right. So you guys can just copy it into your. Okay. So you've seen it here.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to be sure, I'm looking for something I did for EX. I hope I still see it because I want to use it for you too. Okay. I hope I still find it. God, let me find it. God, let me find it. Oh no, I deleted it. Okay. All right, I'll figure it out. Okay, so this is how you create a navigation link, right? So this is going to be your home, your about, and everything. So what's the next on the agenda? So you can still have the whole what's it called? Active and everything. All right. So let me see. Now, if you look at this navigation link here, what they did was just after you finish writing all your HTML stuff, don't do this. I just want to show you. All right. So now they decided that they were going to add an inline CSS to the about link, and they kept the style there and they said float right. We already discussed what float is, so that's why this went to the right. It floated to the right. I mean, they already floated everything to the left before from here, but they wanted this to move to the right, so they had to put. I mean, you can decide to give this a class and come and float it, but this is an inline style. They just kept the style there and they said and they floated it right. And now there is a class of active. All right. And so maybe I should put active. This is what we're using. So let me put a class of active here. Class is equal to active. Okay. So now we have a class of active. So we want to, oh no, let's make it in the about. Sorry. Doesn't have to be here. Like I said, we're not using that one. Okay, there's already an active class here. All right. So we've also, you know how they get, like when you hover around it, right? You understand it, I explained it. They said hover, make it black. That's what they did here. This 111 represent black. So now we're going to give it an active thing. Where's the active?
It's not really working for me. Shall I share my screen?
What's not working?
The coding.
Okay, share your screen. Let me stop sharing.
Okay.
Share your screen. When you've shared your screen, let me know because I'm not looking at my screen right now. I'm trying to check something.
I've started sharing.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
It's because you don't have the style element at the top. Where it says
What?
body,
Oh,
under the body, you need the style element.
Okay, thank you.
does that work now?
I think let me check it in the browser.
Okay. Impressive, Tolu. I figured it out before I did.
Yeah, it's worked now.
It's working. All right, fine.
Thank you.
So you can stop sharing. Thank you. Okay, so does the hover thing work too?
I haven't done that part yet.
Okay, so you can just this is it, LI hover, they put a background color and you run it, it starts working like this. So let me work on the active.
Please, can you show the tag where it has the float right part?
The what?
Can you scroll down to where it says like have like the part where it floats right?
Oh, okay. This here, the style.
Yes. I just
So
want to
know that you can do this in your CSS there. You just have to select LI, you just have to select LI and put the active. Let me do that here. So this is it, right? It has a class of. Have you finished? Have you finished? Let me switch and do it so you see what I'm talking about.
I'm not done.
All right, so quickly finish that and let me tell you how, if you, this is inline, if you want to put it in your main CSS file, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm just going to copy it and give it to you because we don't have time, guys. So this is the code here. Oh, no problem, Tolu. I didn't even hear any background noise. So Tolu, the code is in the chat. So I'm just going to quickly show you.
Thank you.
So far, so good. I hope you guys are enjoying the class.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain as much as I can.
Yes, sir.
So it's in the chat, Tolu. I kept in the chat for you. So you just copy it and put that link there.
Okay.
I think it's for Mayomi, sorry. So if I'm going to do active here, right? Active, I'm going to say, oh, I want active to have a background color of green. Okay, so let me run this.
Where exactly does it go?
Oh, we're going to add the links later. Don't worry about that. When you build your about page, when we build our about page, we're going to link it. We're also going to build the sustainability page tomorrow. So you're going to change this news to sustainability. When we build that tomorrow, you will link it to that page.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Sustainability. I hope I spelled that right. So this is going to be your sustainability page. Okay. I think I made a mistake here. Yeah. All right, so this is how you add an active background to it. So do you want it to, okay, I think we should leave it like this. Let's not make it too much. All right. So if I add a class here, let's assume I wanted to float this and I add a class of, sorry, am I right? Yeah, and add a class of equal to about. And I add a class of about. If I come here and I select dot about, like I said, when you want to select a class, you use dot, add dot about, and I say float right. All right, and I said float right. Okay. Okay, so apparently it doesn't work. Maybe that's why they used an inline. But if it was VS Code, it'll probably work. All right, so this is done here, and that's how you build a homepage. So now, what I want on your Okay, let me just teach you how to build forms straight up. So this is set on your page, right? So now we're going to talk about forms. If you go to certain websites, you're going to see things like, let me look for a website that has something like that. I think you're going to see, yeah, you're going to see things like this, yeah. So how do you build this search is a form. Now, for the sake of time, I don't have time to teach you guys about all CSS forms. Okay, but I'm just going to teach you how to make, I don't think I have time for forms. We still have to build your header and your footer and everything. So I'm just going to teach you how to do the search forms. Okay, so these are all forms, all right? Let me just quickly explain. Now, this is called a form, right? So I'm going to rush this. So sorry, but I don't have a choice. All right. So as you can see here, oh, sweet God, how am I going to do this? When it comes to coding, there is nothing like rushing. All right. So when it comes to a form, yeah. So the element for creating form starts with a form, yeah. It is a form here and it ends just like inside the form, right? Good. So the first thing in the form, you have labels like this, all right? So this label is just basically what you have here. It's just labeling and saying, telling the form that, okay, I want the first form field to be the first name, all right? So you can see it here. That's why it has a label. It has this attribute here called for, all right? So you have to give this attribute a name. Don't worry about this. You're not going to use this in your website, so just listen. It's better you just listen. You can always learn this later, but if you listen to me now, you understand it better. And when you're doing it by yourself, you can just come to W3C and do it by yourself. So it's better if you listen. And when I explain something, so that when you're trying to do it on your own, you can remember, oh, she said this. Because if you're trying to do it while I'm talking, you won't listen. It's just, that's how it works. There's an attribute here called for, and you just have to give for whatever name you want to. So right here, they gave it F name, which stands for first name. All right. So it's always important that when you're writing this form here inside the label, you also have this input field. I just want to state that always make sure that this for name here always matches what is inside this ID here. All right. So this ID and this form, I just call it a rule. Let's put it like that. There are a lot of rules when it comes to coding. Call it a rule that you must have a for attribute and an ID attribute when you're doing this. So let me go ahead and continue. So like I said, the first thing you do, you open a label. You open a label, element, you write the first name as the label, then you close it. But always remember to add this attribute called for is equals to name when you open the label, just like this. So first name. Now the input element, you know what input means. You have to put something inside. So when you open an input, this is what this square line you're seeing here. All right, that's the input, right? So the input type, now this is a type, this is a text type, right? When you say a text type, now when I come here, when I type, it will just write Elijah. All right. So because you made it a text type, this is what we show. Now there is another type of input that is called, password. Now, if you say password, what happens when you say password is, oh, what did I change? Oh, okay, I would come back. So now what happens when I put password here is that ignore the things you're writing. When I start to type, oh, this doesn't work. How am I going to do this now? I have to delete all these things. All right, let's just stick to text type here. I will do password later and show you. All right, so now you have this is a text input and this is type. So when you're typing, it shows that you should have a name. So to get these things you're seeing here now, like I said, just like label has an attribute that has a rule that you must put for, the input has a rule that you must put an ID name, and it must be the same name as this. So these are just rules. That's why this is there. It's just like a rule to make the form work. So now you have to name your input, all right? So you can decide to give it whatever name, but it makes a lot of sense to say, okay, make this first name, call it first name because it's a first name field. This field is for the first name. Now, placeholder is what, you see this, your name here, is what stays there so that people can know. I mean, if I remove this placeholder, all right, nothing is going to appear inside. So placeholder just, as the name implied, a placeholder, it just holds a space here so people know what to put in there. I mean, if I put your name here and somebody appears on my form, even if you miss the label, you won't miss it here that says, oh, write your name inside, all right? So this can also be called value. You can also use an attribute called value here. Let me show you the difference. The difference with value is that you can come and write a name and say John Doe. Okay, right? And then when you run this, what you have in here is John Doe. Well, let me just say John because I'm John because we're only asking for one name, your first name, John. So now the difference is that people can come here and edit it and be like, okay, they want me to write my name, so I'm just going to change it and write it to her. Okay, that's the difference. Here they use a placeholder. When it comes to placeholder, you cannot edit it. You just write on top of it. As soon as you start writing, it goes away. But for value actually stays there. All right. So it's up to your discretion. Use whatever you want. All right. So we have a label for name. Same thing. You open the label tag, add the 4 attributes. You name it, label, last name. That's what's here. Last name, and then you close the label, and there you have it. So it's also an input type text because you're going to be texting. If this was going to be type, if this was going to be password and not text, if you ever go on website and you're trying to type your password, you notice that it doesn't show what you're typing. It just shows dots, dots, dots. That is what type password will do for you. And I would show you an example as soon as we leave this place. So that's for text, that's for name, and that's for label and inputs. All right. Now, what if you want a form that has options like this, select options like this, right? You use the select element. Of course, you already put your label here to show that, okay, this is going to be for country. And now, to now put options here, you use the select options. You give it an ID. Now, don't even think you're going to cram all this in your head. It's going to be hard. This is why you have the internet. If you want to create a form, just go to W3 Schools, and then you can remember all the things. It just reminds you of all the things that are supposed to be there. So don't try cramming everything. You can't. Even me, I don't know it sometimes. So I check. So now you have an ID of country, okay, and you also give it a name, just like you give here. Just like you give this input an ID and then you give it a name. The only thing you don't give it is a type text because you're not going to be typing inside. It's going to be options for people to select, right? And you don't need a placeholder because the options are going to appear here first. But it needs an ID and a name just like the others up. So this is the ID and this is the name. So now you select the first option, all right? Your option, what's the value of that option? Australia. So you make sure you put the value and the option before you close the tag. You write Australia. This is what will appear here. Okay. This value is not going to appear. It's not going to show at all. It's just for the browser. All right. But for people who are going to be seeing, for people who are going to be seeing you have to put this here. If you don't put this here, nothing is going to be there. Let me see. See? Nothing is going to be there. So some people might get confused. So it's just for better user experience, just put it there. All right. And so now it's Australia. So you put as much option as you want. All right. You put as much option as you want. And then when people come, they can select.
How long do we have left? Because my battery is going to die and I don't know what the charger is.
We still have a lot to do. Like that's what I was telling you in class yesterday, that one makeup class cannot, cover up for what you've missed.
How long left
So
for this class?
you said what?
How long left for this class?
You don't want to leave it. I didn't get that.
How long for this class? Because my battery.
It's supposed to be 2 hours. It's supposed to be 2 hours. So let's say we have an hour more. You can charge your phone. You can charge your laptop.
I don't have the charger.
Okay, so you have two options. You can either join Tolu, or maybe I just stay with Tolu. I'm guessing this is my only talking. Maybe I stay with Tolu and Tolu can explain it to you. That's the only options I can give you right now.
Okay.
I'll find the charger. So, you know what? For the sake of, let's just go straight to the search option I want to create. Let's leave the form. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the form. I think the form is somewhere around here.
Also, I'm not sure what to do with the hover because it isn't really working.
The hover.
Yeah. I can't
Did
remember
you
what
put a pseudo selector?
I can't remember what I was supposed to do for that part.
Okay, can you share your screen so I can quickly see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so scroll down. LI hover. There's a mistake somewhere. The way it's writing. Like I already told you, you don't need this. You don't need this LI. Hold on, let me take over your screen.
What's this?
Yeah, I don't think you need to float right. You just need to float it left once. So you don't need that. Okay, so okay, you put the color. There's no, when it comes to coding, it's color. There's no U. All right.
Okay.
I think that's the American way of spelling. So save this and check.
And I think something went wrong here as well. Because it's
It's still
showing.
not working.
Yeah.
This is showing that there is a, okay. So hold on. It's red. It's just showing something is wrong. Okay, so you close the style button. Let me just read your code from top to bottom. Okay. Okay, this isn't supposed to be here. This is supposed to be there. Okay, so scroll down. Okay, now try saving this page and checking. This should work.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's also color. There's no U here.
Oh.
Yeah. So check your browser and let me see. And tell me how it goes.
It's working now.
It's working, yeah. So it's just minor errors that were there.
I think is where is the home? That's supposed to be green all the time.
Okay, so go back to your code. I actually didn't want you to make it green, but if you want to just go back to your code, let's make it green.
Okay.
It was the hover you turned to green. You can turn the hover to black.
Can I make where it says home? Can I make it a different color instead of? Yeah.
Yeah, that's up to you. You want to make your active class a different color, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to have to select. So just hold on. Let me do it. So the active. Okay. So background color. Okay, so what color do you want to make it?
Um,
I'm guessing you're asking about the color that stays one color all the time, right?
yeah,
Okay, so that's why you put it. So just put whatever color you want there.
okay. Mm, I'll just do this.
Okay. So hold on.
Mm. Oh, it has to be a different color.
Okay.
Shall I stop sharing?
No, we have to be sure it's working so that is it working?
It's the writing is
Oh, you just have to change the color of the writing. Whoever color, then go change. I mean, if it's a bright color, you put black. If it's a dark color, you put white.
okay.
All
So
right. So you
where do
just
I
go
go?
down to the next line. Yeah. So change the color of the text. Just write color. Yeah. And so put a text color that you know would show. It should be black. Yeah.
I'll do white.
Yeah. That's fine. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. Let me share so you can see.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So you prefer it this way.
Yeah.
All right. No problem. Okay. All right. Cool. So now you can stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay. So hold on. Let's just share my screen. I'm just going to go straight to building your about page because we have a lot to do. I'm trying
Also,
to find.
I think Miami's laptop died.
Yeah, he said so. Said so.
Shall I quickly ask for the charger for him?
All right. So yeah, please do that.
Okay. One,
So when
two,
you get back, let me know so I can start sharing my screen.
okay. Something happened, I'm not sure.
What?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Mm. So I can hear you. If you're ready, let me know. I'll
Okay,
share my
I'm just gonna go and get the charger now.
Okay, okay. So I'll be waiting.
I'm back. We can't find the charger.
Okay. So what do we do now?
Mine was just going to come and join me.
What?
Mine is just going to come and join me.
Okay, that's better. Okay. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we're going to build. We're going to add a search form like this. Then we're going to build, essentially, let me show you. I'm trying to find, oh God, I'm trying to find the reference page for what it looks like. Okay.
Bollywood. I call it Bollywood.
Okay.
Bollywood just.
So essentially, this is what I want to create for you. All right. Okay. So we're going to create this now, and then we're done with the class. So this will be your about page. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's go there. Okay. So first things first. Let me put this here. So this is your what's it called? This is your navigation bar so far. Okay. So now how do we get this search form in there? Pretty easy. How do we get it in there? So the first way, let me copy. So I'm going to be doing a lot of copying and pasting. Saves me time to start typing. All right. Okay. So for the form, so the form comes directly under your list. All right. So when you do this, this is what you get. Okay. Let me just put a line break there so it's more visible. All right, so now it's more visible, yeah. So for the form, we have an input type text because we are going to be also typing, it's going to be text in there. And then we'll have a placeholder of search. I already explained that. Now, this is a submit button, okay? It's just a button. It's just a button, but it's more, it's better if we give this button a type, so the browser realizes that's a button. So this is pretty much straightforward. Now, all you need here is we have to remove this action get method. This is for back end people who are doing back end, who are just doing front end here. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we gave it a class of search forms, and now we're going to design it. So pretty easy. This is what it gives you. So how do we get it from here to here? All right. So we're going to go and design it. Where's the search form? All right. So this is it. First things first, we're going to, first thing you want to do is to float this to the right here. So I'm going to remove that line break so it doesn't affect it. All right. So now it's all joined together. So now I'm going to go to my CSS. Going to come here. The first thing I want to do is to float it right.
Can you
Okay.
paste it in the chat, please? So it's easy.
Okay. The
Thank-
search form here. Do you want the HTML first?
Is that so?
I'm going to paste the HTML first. Hold on. I'll paste both.
Might be right.
Is that a problem?
Pardon?
Is that a problem? I'm hearing my Omi.
Oh no,
Iri's
that was
voice.
that was mine.
Okay. All right. So I'm giving you this one first.
Okay, thank you. So why does it go after all the information?
Yes. After. See, can you see my screen? Do you see where it is? This is the UL, and this is the body. So this is where it goes. Can you see my screen? So it should be like that on your
Yeah.
VS Code. All right. Is that done?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would send you this, but let's just look at it one after the other. So the first thing you want to do is to float right. I'll give you the code. Now you have floated it right. We're going to add a margin and a padding. Okay. All right. So this is a margin and a padding. Hold on. This did not be right. Hold on. Let's type look left just to be sure that everything is right. Hold on. I have to compare to be sure that doing the right thing. So give me a moment to compare these two codes here. Let's see, you have list type, non-margin, padding, overflow background, float, block, white center, okay. So green, float right. Okay, so I think we're fine.
So
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is float right and also give it a margin on the padding. So it's still going to move inside. So let me put this in the chat. Copy. So you can put that in your CSS. So the next thing we're going to do, let me stop there. So the next thing we're going to style is the search form input type text.
It's not really working for me.
Okay, so share screen, let me see, please.
Okay. Okay.
I have to stop sharing.
So I don't know why it's not working.
Go to the browser, let me see. Oh, shit.
Sorry, I'm just trying to open
Okay.
it. This is the browser. When I reload, it's still not working.
Okay, did you save the code?
Yeah.
So go back to your VS Code. So let me see what the problem is. Search form. Okay, search form. Okay. What was wrong? Okay, did you try reloading your browser
Yeah.
and you saved, because I can see that it's saved.
Mm.
Okay, still don't know why this is not working.
So,
I'll scroll up your browser.
oh, you might be right.
Scroll up your browser, please.
Pardon?
Scroll, oh yeah, thank you. Okay, so what could be the problem? Scroll down. Doesn't look to have any errors. Okay, hold on. Let me check on my end. Hold on. Oh. But I'm trying to figure out why it's not working. Oh, hold on. Now I know why this is not working. Not for you, for me, actually. Okay, all right, fine. So Tolu, hold on. We're going to do it like this. Front class inside the UL. So hold on. Let me see if this will work. So I made a mistake.
Stop.
Okay. Let me take over your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Tolu has two screens. Why do you have two screens? But that's not the issue. So something we ought to do, we have to put a margin here. Sorry, we have to put a style here. Body. So I want margin to be 10 px. Okay. I want it to have a padding of 10 px as well. 10 px as well. Okay. All right. I think I made a mistake there. All right. So scroll down to your list. This is not 10. Sorry, hold on. This is letter O. So there's just an error here. Okay, now scroll down to your UL. So now we're going to put this form directly with because we want the form and the navigation bar to be on the same line. So they're all going to be in the same list. All right. So we're just going to float the form to the right. So now they're all a list together. They're all together, but we're going to float the form to the right. So save this and please go to your browser. For the love of God, please work. For the love of God, work. So please check your browser.
It hasn't
It
worked.
worked?
No.
Why is okay? Form, class, search, input type. This is okay. And you're sure this is the same file on the browser because this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
So open it on, yeah, please start from the beginning again. About me. All right. This is supposed to work.
Still not working.
All right,
Oh,
hold on.
I've got a slash here.
Is what?
Wait, let me quickly.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Still
It's
not
not-
working.
You know what we're going to do, yeah? Hold on. What we're going to do is this. Let me
Wait.
copy. Is it working now?
My brother said to remove the slashes here. Oh, where is it? Just head and body.
Start body, yeah.
If it works.
Yeah.
If it works.
Oh, okay.
Still not working.
All right. So you know what we're going to do here? Yeah. Okay. This was this is Bollywood, and this is, so hold on. We're going to start the process all over again. I'm going to give you the entire code. So just hold on. So it's Bollywood, because that's the best thing I can think of. So I'm trying to can you, okay, let me actually, you do it instead. So can you copy your entire CSS here? All right,
Yeah.
starting from, hold on, starting from here. Oh, okay. This should, let me see, this should just be head. There shouldn't be body here. Okay, so scroll down. Let me see if this will work now. And this, hold on, this should also be, I mean, okay.
Right.
Scroll up, let me see something. Because the style should be in your head. Okay, scroll down. Okay, so this should be where your head ends. It's supposed to be head, yeah. Okay, and now body HTML. Scroll down. Okay, so now the structure is right. For the love of God, work. So please check it again.
No.
Not working, yeah. Okay. So we're going to do the drastic thing. We're going to have to drastically. So you're going to copy from, let me select it myself. Copy from, all right, now copy what I just selected from style to style. Copy it.
Shiny Rambo.
Okay, I've pasted it. I've copied it.
Yeah, so paste it in the chat because we're going to copy it later. Paste it in the chat.
I think I might. Oh, no mind.
What?
I thought I had to stop sharing the screen, but
Okay. Oh, you've pasted it already. Okay, don't stop sharing. So hold on. Let's copy the copy from, yeah, copy from here, from UL to UL. Yes, copy from there and paste it in your chat. So you're going to start the process again. You're going to delete this file, open a new file, and then copy it because maybe there's something wrong with the file. I don't know. Yes, just like that. So start the process again and let's see how that works.
because I have to
Speak-
paste the whole thing. I mean, copy the whole thing. I'll just. Copy
No,
it.
I feel there's something wrong with the file. That's why I don't want you to copy it. Do you get?
Yeah.
So let's just start again. Let's just be sure. Don't worry, I would guide you how to do it. So just what you've copied is enough. Now delete this file, open a new about me file, and let's start again.
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
So now put your yeah, exactly. So let me show you where to copy styles. You're going to put style in this is head. Okay. You're going to sorry. Let me create a space for you to put the style in. Okay, so you're going to put the style in here, that space, all right?
Okay.
Why are you having, hold on, why are you having two HTML on two bodies? Why?
I don't know what it's doing.
That's not supposed to be there.
Only undo.
Yeah,
Is that,
yeah,
does it go at number 8?
yes.
Okay.
All right, great. So you're going to post the HTML, the UL thingy, you're going to post that in the body there. The space where between the two body, yeah, exactly. That's where you paste it. For the love of God, work. All right, save
This
and try opening it on the browser.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, oh yeah, it works.
It's working now. Thank you,
Yeah,
God.
I just need the thing that has where it's at the thing where it has make the thing where the home
I can
is,
hear you, Tolu.
I need home to be a different color because it's just the same color as the rest. And then when you hover, it's
Okay, when you hover. Okay.
I'll make this color.
Oh no, don't worry about the. No.
so
It's going to be the same. Let me see your browser. Let me see what the problem, because we're still going to design.
maybe so.
Tolu.
Yeah.
The search form is going to have the same color because we have not designed it. We have not styled it. So don't worry. So let me see your browser. Let me see the problem. What you're
Okay.
doing is wrong. So let me see the browser and let me see the problem. So if I can just see your browser.
It's just a browser.
I can't see. Okay. Also, what's the problem now?
This part was a different color before.
I thought that's what you wanted. You wanted it to be that color.
Yeah, but it's not anymore. So I
All
need
right,
to
so go
find
back.
it.
The home, right? All right, fine. Go back to your VS Code. So where's active home?
Yeah, I need to.
Can you scroll up?
Well, I think I know what to do.
You're just writing a comment. That's not going to do anything. You're just writing a comment. The start option just means you're writing a comment. It's not going to change anything, Tolu.
Oh,
I'm like going to let you do your thing.
mhm.
It's really- it's cool. It's the American
Oh.
stuff.
So what you're going for is dot active. That's not li hover. It's dot active you're looking for. You're supposed to write dot active. Yeah.
Okay.
All you need is dot active. Yeah. Remove the a hover. Yeah. Remove the hover and the pseudo selector. Remove both of them.
So how do you make
Yeah.
it like the home? How do you
That's what I'm
make it
saying.
like the home thing?
How do I make it work?
How do you make it like with the new thing, the home thing, and the contact thing? How do you make it so it actually takes you to a page?
I didn't get that question. Sorry.
So like you know where it says like home on the horizontal bar, it says like
Yeah.
home, news, contact, about.
Yes.
When you click those, how do you make it so it actually takes you to like a web page?
Oh, you actually put Tolu, let me finish with your sister. Sorry, Mary, let me finish. Tolu, sorry.
Yeah.
So for the sake of time, just hold on. Let me do what you want to do. Just hold on. We don't have time. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. All right. This is what you're looking for. Background color. You're supposed to, because the active is on the home, so you're supposed to give the background color of, I think you wanted barley wood or something. What's that color? Yeah, this
Yeah.
barley wood. All right. And then the write-up was supposed to be black. Color, I don't know why you deleted it. Color should be black. Let's make that black. We'll make this the color. All right, this is fine. So for this, hold on, just hold on. This is going to be, white. This is white. This should be. All right, save this and check.
Okay. Wait, but this is for when you hover. I want it to be green.
Or when you hover around it, you want it to be green, right? Okay, change that. Okay.
Okay. Can you see it?
Okay, so
yeah.
does this work where?
Yeah. And then the stuff is here.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
So go back to your VS Code. Tolu.
Yeah.
Okay, you can stop sharing. Mayomi, let me answer that question. You can stop sharing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. So I'm going to design this profile page with you in mind now. All right, let me share my screen. Let me quickly answer Tolu's question.
Oh, it was Miami's question.
Mayomi, I keep mixing the names. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so for Mayomi. Oh, sorry. Okay. Mayomi, so let's assume I wanted this to go to YouTube, yeah? Or let me look for YouTube. Okay. This is YouTube. So assuming I want it to go to YouTube, I'm going to copy YouTube with the so let's assume I wanted this to go to YouTube. All right. No, that's YouTube. So where this link is, I'm going to put the YouTube link there. Okay. I'm also going to put how do you get it to open in a new browser? Target blank, right?
I think so.
What? Target blank.
Are we gonna cover this? Are we gonna cover this part tomorrow?
Maybe today. All right. And so now when I run this,
Can we do this
and I
part
click,
tomorrow?
maybe, all right. I just want to answer your question so we can go ahead. So maybe YouTube is not going, but that's how YouTube refused to connect for some reason. But that's how it's supposed to be. You just put the link right here. When you're done with your about page, this is going to become, it's going to become like this. All right. When you're done with your about page, and when you click on about, it's going to take you to your about page, but that's for tomorrow. So let's just quickly finish this so we can go. All right. So now you have your search button here and all of that. For the sake of, so I can follow colors. Is this how it's spelled on your, is this how it's spelled there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, this is wrong. It's supposed to be, let's make it black. Okay, sure. Okay, so just so I know I'm following color. So we're going to design, okay, we've moved this to the right. That's why it is float right. And then we've added a margin and a margin top and a margin right. So if you notice, this is what happens when you float it to the right, all right? So we're just going to add a margin to the,
Tolly's on her phone. I'd like her to pay attention.
what?
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I got mistaken. I thought Tolly was. Never mind. It's fine.
Okay, so can I go on?
Yes.
Okay. So this is our search button, and you can see we floated it right because we selected the search form. The search form class covers the input and the button. It covers this and this. So now we're going to add the padding to the top and to the right here, so it doesn't stop because this is too close to the end. So I'm just going to add a margin, just the margin top and the margin right. So I have a margin here on top and I have a margin at the side. I didn't bother to put a margin here because there's already a space here. So that is fine. So the next thing we're going to style. All right. The next thing we're going to style is the sorry. So we're styling the search input type text. So it's essentially we're selecting only this. We're not selecting the submit button because, like I said, the search form covers the submit button as well. So now I just want to isolate this input box here. And so that's why you have this here, input type, because I'm isolating that. And so I'm going to create, this search is too close to the border. So I'm going to move it forward. I also do not want a border around it. You know, let me see that. Let me just show you. Okay. All right, so I moved the search a little. It's just a very small. Oh, I just gave it a padding. Sorry, I just gave it a padding around the side. What?
I thought you were supposed to do. Wait, I'm a bit stuck. Wait, so to make the search bar bigger, after search form, you put input and type text.
Yeah, let me put that in the chat for you. So that should work. You're just adding the padding to it, and you added the border radius to make it rounder. The reason why it's rounder is because there is a border radius there. Might as well just do this because I want the submit button to also be. Let me just try. So that doesn't work. All right, so can I go ahead?
One moment. Please, can you go up?
I'm coming. Okay. So I'm just going to give one more explanation. This search form styles both the search button and the submit button. So this should be submit. Let's make this submit. Okay, so you just need to change it so it can be submit. Okay, and so this particular CSS only styles this input button. It doesn't touch the submit button. Do we get that?
Yes, are we going to come back to this tomorrow? Because the code is quite a lot.
Is what?
We're gonna come back to this part tomorrow, like just to refresh, because all the code and stuff is quite a lot.
Yeah, we're not coming back to this tomorrow. You still have more codes to write tomorrow. We've been doing this for 2 weeks. You can't get it on the, imagine writing 2 weeks code in 2 hours. It doesn't work that way. So we're not coming back to this tomorrow. That's why I'm taking my time to explain. Okay,
Yes.
so can I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, so I hope you have changed here to submit instead of search. Just change here to submit instead of search. So I have styled this input button. I have made the corners rounded. Now I want to style the submit button. All right.
Yeah.
And how I do that, I select the search form button. Remember, this was only the input. This was only selecting the input button, which is this. And now I am selecting search form button. So now I'm selecting this. And I am going to give it a background color of gray. Okay. Okay. So now it has a background color of gray. Let me give you this. Let me put this in the chat box so you can copy it into your code. Oh, sorry. So now it has a background color of gray. It has a write-up of white. This triple F here means is white. I mean, you can still just write white. It doesn't matter. It's white. I removed the borders and then I added a border radius to make it round. The reason why it is round is because I have a 3px border radius there. I added the padding to make it bigger. And then I also made this cursor pointer means that when I put my cursor here, it turns into a finger. All right. When I put it here, it turns into a finger. That's why the cursor pointer is for. Turns into a finger pointing. All right. So if you want to follow your styling, I think this color here is Bollywood. I don't know if it would look good, but I could change it to Bollywood. And you see it's the same and make the writing here black. Okay, I think I'm going to make the one on the home black as well.
Please, can you go up to the part to style the search bar just one more time?
The search bar, yeah. This is it. You have the search form, which is the entire form, the search input, which is just this one, and then the submit button.
Please, can you copy and paste it and put it in the chat?
What?
Please, can you copy, paste it, and put it in the chat?
They're all in the chat. The 3 of them are in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I put the 3 of them in the chat, so just check that. So I want to change this active background. I want to make the color, the text color, black because I feel it looks finer that way.
Is there any particular order this has to be in? Can it be in any random order for it to still work?
Well, it's better if it's a set order, just like the way I did it here. You can see I designed the nav bar first. It's a nav bar. Then I went on to design the search form, and it's just better to. I mean, you can put it however you want to, but it's better if you do it. Then, when you're looking for a particular thing, you know where to find it. Okay, so if I'm looking for my nav bar, I know I just go to the first one. If I'm looking for my search forms, I know I go to the second part. So if it was all scattered, I have to scroll up, scroll down, scroll up to find what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But if you put it in any order, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, so are we good?
Yes.
Okay, so Tolu, you can see how I styled it here. I put a background. Oh, this cannot be white. This cannot be black. Sorry. That cannot be black. So if I'm going to hover, copy. So I have to. I want this to be, what color do I want to change it to? Okay, it could be black, but the color should be white. Okay, so I run that now. Why still not working? Okay, I'm just gonna leave it a black then, because I don't have time to figure that out. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it a white. Oh, what did I do? Oh my God. So I'm going to have to do this again. So I made a mistake, but I'm going to fix that. I'm just trying to fix the mistake I made. Thank you. Okay. All right, so can I go ahead now? I'm going to go ahead. So now we've styled the search button, the submit button. We're going to move into, we don't have anything to start. Now we're going to move into creating your profile. So we're first going to.
How long left do we have this lesson?
Tolu, we're going to be here until we finish the whole of this. If you are tired, then I might have to let you go and then we'll continue tomorrow.
Oh yes, because we have a class tomorrow as well.
Yes, you have a class tomorrow. But you know what? Hold on. Let me talk to director. Just hold on. Let me tell director that we can't even. Let me let director know, because she wanted us to finish this and also build another one tomorrow. So I'm going to tell her that's not possible because you guys are tired.
I'm really, really tired.
Exactly. So
Also,
I'm going to tell her that.
it's Miami.
What?
That was Miami, by the way.
Miami. Okay, Tolu, do you still want to stay? Hold on. Tolu, do you still want to stay, or you are also tired?
I'm also a bit tired.
You're tired too.
Yeah.
Okay, could you just wait till we finish this part? Only this part.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So hold on. Hold on. Sorry, let me mute again.
So I think you're far away from me.
Tolu, take a 10 minutes break. Take it because you've tried. Take a 10 minutes break. Sorry.
Okay.
How long do we have left? How long do we have left? It's 5. Now go. I really.
What are you doing?
My dad signed us up for this coding course.
You need to what?
My dad signed us up for this coding course.
All right, Tolu, are you ready, or you still want to go on a break? I'm just going to do only this part and we're done. All right, so tomorrow we'll do your footer. Tolu there.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so let me just do that part and then we can be done. Okay, so the next part is to actually do yeah. It's actually the write-up, which is what you want to do now. So you probably have to change this write-up. So the first thing you want to do is, let me copy this thing. I wanted to teach you guys something called breed, but we don't have that time anymore. So I'm just going to go straight and hopefully and pray to God that you understand. I'll try to explain it. So we're going to, it's called a grid container, all right? And I gave that, okay, this is a class called a grid container. I'll explain. There is another class here called a text. Now, I don't know if you guys, I taught you guys about divs, but divs are just used to add things to, add classes to elements. For instance, I'm going to copy this right now. This is a paragraph. All right. this is a paragraph. I want to copy this paragraph. Okay. So I'm going to paste this paragraph here. All right. So now I have a paragraph right here. Okay. So now the thing about, because your navigation bar is one section of your page. Now this write-up, this entire, let me go to the bigger one. All right, because this is what we are following. Now this entire content, this write-up here, this is your picture here, is another section. Your nav bar is a section. Oh, sorry, excuse me. And then this is now another section. Now that section is what I have called a container. All right, is what I have called a container here. I can also decide to name it profile section. I think naming it profile section would be better, so you understand. So now this is the profile. I'm giving it a class of profile section. All right. Of profile section. All right. So that the reason why it is, hold on. Oh, I didn't close the div. So this profile section encompasses the entire paragraph. So I'm going to close this profile section here. Okay. Okay. So let me remove this text here. Tolu, are you understanding?
Yes.
All right. So now it encompasses this entire section. Now, if I come here and I decide that, okay, I want the profile. Sorry, I'm going to select the profile section and I say, I want this profile section to have a background, color, of, let's say Bollywood. Just like, I'm just saying, okay, and I close this curly bracket. What happens is that sorry, it has to be background color. Did I get this right? Profile section. Because I don't know what it's not right to. Get me take somewhere. Okay, that is weird. I don't know why that is not writing. But yeah, let's just call this, it's the profile section. All right. So I also want to put a picture. We don't have time to start figuring out why it's not working, because I mean, I want us to finish and be done. So, oh, I forgot that there is a button. So there is this here. I'm going to put that here. So that is a link that I kept inside a button. I know I taught you guys this before you left. So I'm going to cut this. I shouldn't have cut that actually. And I'm going to put it under the profile here. Okay. So now, I'm going to call it profile section. All right. So now this is the entire thing here. So hold on, sorry. I'm going to explain this other one I just put right now. So if you get to any point and you're tired, you're really tired, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So All right, let me just follow what is here so that I can know what the problem is. Because right now, I don't know what the problem is. But let me copy here. Currently, there's a problem that I'm not seeing. Okay, so let me go to the styling of grid container. So this is the grid container. So I've changed this. Okay.
I tried pasting the information that you put in the chat, but it's just
Yeah.
like it's normal writing.
It's not what?
It's stuck as normal writing on the browser.
All right, you know what? Let me stop sharing. Share screen. Let me see what's wrong.
Okay.
Why? When your screen is sharing, let me know. I'll try to figure out why this is not reflecting. So that's the thing. That's the thing when it comes to coding. You're going to be doing a lot of trying to find what the problem is. They call it debugging. Why is this not working? What's going on? Why is this not working? You spend a lot of time doing that. So is your screen sharing now? Because I'm not looking at the screen.
Yeah, I'm screen sharing.
Do you want to watch this?
All right, so hold on. So something is definitely wrong somewhere. So hold on.
I've got rid of it, but it's still showing on the browser.
Let me see the browser. When I see the browser, I can figure out what the problem is. So let me see your browser. Okay, search input. All right, so go back to your VS Code. So where did you post what I put on the? Okay, scroll down.
I think I put it here.
Okay, so put it again. Let me see.
Put what again? The browser.
No, this is not the only. Please go to your browser again because I saw something I don't understand.
I got rid of it, but the text is still here.
Did you reload the browser?
I've already pressed reload.
Okay, so I don't even know where this is writing search form and search input form button. Okay, go back. So I don't know if something is wrong with your VS Code or maybe it's your laptop, but something is definitely wrong.
So I copy all this and make it a new one.
Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. So try that and let me know if it works.
Go outside with me. What?
So if that works, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to start this all over again because I don't even know what's going on.
It's coming up with a note that says failed to save. About
Is what?
it's It says the content of the file is newer. Please compare your version of the file contents or overwrite.
Oh, you're going to have to delete the other one. You're going to have, that's why we copied it before we deleted it and created a new one.
But I deleted it already. Do you mean I have to delete it in the folder?
Yes, you have to delete in the folder because you're creating two pages that have the same name, I guess.
Okay.
The content of the file is newer. Please come.
Oh, it's still coming up.
You know what? Overwrite. You can just click on overwrite instead. Just overwrite. So try.
Okay, yeah, it's gone now.
Okay, it's gone. So hold on. Just hold on.
Also, I'm getting a bit tired now.
Okay, so you want us to start tomorrow?
If that's okay.
What?
If it's okay.
Oh, it's okay, but yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Sure.
Okay. Thank you for the lesson.
Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.